What's up, VC? How we doing today? It's Tuesday, March 21st. It's the second day of spring, and it is actually getting spring-like here in Maine. Our blizzard that we got last week is starting to melt away, so that's good. Um, I wanted to show you guys some finds that I picked up the last couple weeks. I didn't make a video last week because I told you guys in a previous video that I was going out to Boston, and while I was out in Boston, I spent way too much money on records, and I didn't have any money left. So, I didn't pick up. Last week I only had about one or two pickups that I had, so I didn't want to make a video for finds doing just one record. So I got a little stack now, and I'll show you guys what I've picked up. I got some online purchases. I got some things that I picked up at the local record shop here, a couple different record stores. I think an antique store that I go to close to home here. This right here, Tom Waits, Closing Time, one of my personal favorites. This was a reissue that came out a few years ago. Um, my personal Tom Waits favorite, and personal one of my favorite records of all time, actually. But I've been wanting an original of this, and I just can't find it. And I noticed I wanted to pick this up, and I went online to my normal record shop, and it said it was no longer in print. So I got nervous, and I wanted to pick one up before I couldn't get one, even though I know they'll end up reissuing it again because it's just one of those classics. But I wanted it, and I don't want it to go up too much where I can't afford to get it. So I found one online for like $20 on Amazon and picked that up because it's just something that I needed. So yeah, so we got Tommy playing in the back, and let's see. My first record that I received in the last couple weeks is something that I've been wanting on vinyl for a while, but it wasn't out. It's one of my '90s records that I love so much. They finally came out with this particular record. I found out that they were going to do a limited 500 press of this record. They were doing a pre-order back around Thanksgiving time. I saw that they were just doing 500 of this, and it's one of my favorites. And I told my wife, and she told her sister. So my sister-in-law pre-ordered this for me as a Christmas gift, and it finally arrived. It was just released, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and Jim Blossom's New Miserable Experience. It's just one of those classics for me that I used to listen to all the time in high school and college, and they only made 500 of this, but they are pressing it. I believe it's coming out this Friday in like a regular release. This is just the pre-order, pre-release 500 copy edition on brown vinyl. So anyway, it's something I've been wanting forever, but it's the first time it's ever been pressed on vinyl. So this was essential for my collection. Another one that, just for any Jim Blossoms fans that are out there, like I said, this is coming out this Friday. And also they are releasing blah, 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 what the hell is the name of it? Congratulations, I'm sorry. Their second record. That's also coming out on Friday. Um, so if there's any Gin Blossoms fans out there, you should be able to pick those up online or go to your record shops and find those. Um, Another record I picked up online, something I've been looking for a while. I had mentioned in a previous video that this is something that I've wanted, and after I made that video, I hopped online. I didn't see anything, and then it appeared a couple days later. So I finally got that copy of the Hindu Love Gods that I've been wanting. This record, I think I may have mentioned in that video, is a collaboration of REM without Michael Stipe on vocal, but it's the band with Warren Zevon on lead vocal. And here's a picture of them. And it's a really cool record. I mean, it doesn't sound like REM at all. It's not that like jangle, like pop sound that they do. It's they do a lot of covers on this record. It's pretty much like classic blues songs. They do like Wang Dang Doodle. I think Manish Boy's on here. Walking Blues, like so you know you got your Willie Dixon, your Robert Johnson. They do a really cool Prince cover of Raspberry Beret, which I actually prefer this to Prince. But yeah, it's really cool. I used to have it on CD, but I either lost it or somebody stole it. I mean, I'm sure you guys know how that is. You have a party and then everything goes missing. So gotta love college. So let's see. I'd sold a bunch of CDs a few weeks ago, so I could have money for my trip to Boston, and I got some cash for that. And I also got some credit, and I've had the credit on there for a few weeks now because I knew there was a bunch of stuff coming out that I wanted, and I didn't want to just waste it on anything else. So I've been very good. It's been very tempting to pick up other things, but one of my bands came out with a new record and I needed it. And you guys know, if you've been watching any of my videos, that I'm an old 97s guy. So the new old 97s came out. It's back to their old form. Sounds very early old 97s. Opens up and it's got like that really like that train just kind of pounding at you. It just has that chug 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 sound to it. So really cool because they have Brandy Carlisle on this record with them. Katelyn Rose appears on this. Nicole Atkins appears on this. So you know, Rhett's doing some vocals with some talented ladies. But yeah, the lead single "Good with God" is the duet with Brandy Carlisle, which I've said it in previous videos. I absolutely love her. Her voice is insane. So check out "Good with God." Like I said, Katelyn Rose also appears on here. If you're unfamiliar with Katelyn Rose, she is an up-and-coming country singer. She's done work with Deer Tick. She's done work with like Dawes. So like she's done stuff with those guys. They're two of the bands that I really enjoy that are current right now. So if you get a chance, you should check out this. This is Katelyn, um, her solo stuff. This is just a 10-inch. It's just got 7 songs on here. Um, but she does a really cool cover of the Rolling Stones' "Dead Flowers," which is one of my favorites by the Stones to begin with. So she also does what is it? 3 cigarettes in an ashtray. Patsy Cline. So I think she was in her teens when she recorded this. This one here is from 2009, but it's really cool. I think this came out around the same time. I first heard of this girl when like Lydia Lovelace was hitting with her first record. So if you like Lydia Lovelace, she's somebody else that I enjoy, and Katelyn kind of falls into that kind of same vein as Lydia. She's not as in your face, not as rough as Lydia, but really cool vocal. Another one I picked up at Bull Moose that day with the old 97s was a band from Alabama called Lee Baines and the Glorifiers. This is on Sub Pop, and I got it really cheap. I got it in their clearance bin, 75 off. I picked it up for like $4, and it's something that came out in 2014 that I kind of been eyeing, but I didn't want to spend, $20 on it or whatever when it first came out because I was pretty unfamiliar with it. But Lee Baines, Southern rock, swamp rock, blues rock. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet because I've been still catching up on some of that other stuff I picked up a couple weeks ago. And I'm just trying to get through some of this stuff. I've listened to half of it so far. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing that I've picked up recently, but I also haven't given it the time that it probably deserves. Like I think I just said, it came out in 2014. I know when it came out, it was getting some pretty high praise. It had some decent reviews. So if you like Southern rock, check this out. I still really want to just get into it, though. I really haven't given it the time. But what I've heard so far is okay. It didn't blow me away. But they were opening up for Alabama Shakes, if you like that kind of thing. So they're from Alabama. I think Lee Baines was going to school like NYU. I think he may have dropped out and went back home and started this band up, and Sub Pop picked them up. So I don't know. I dig Sub Pop. So the next couple that I picked up at my buddy's antique shop, and they were cheap. They were only $2 a piece. Queen, The Game. Everybody has this. Nothing, it's a great record. I mean, it's got a crazy little thing called Love. Another one, Bites the Dust, which I actually don't like that song. It's one of my least favorite Queen songs. But it's Queen. The rest of the record's pretty cool. I love Brian May. I love Freddie's vocals, and it's a Queen record I didn't have. So for $2, why not? The next one I picked up for $2, 2 Hours with Thelonious. Little Thelonious Monk. I'm not a jazz guy. I can't talk jazz. I don't know jazz well. I own less than a dozen jazz records in my collection. It's something that I want to get into a little more, but it's really just not my cup of tea. I prefer more jazz vocalists, but I have I appreciate this stuff. This one was $2 because it's missing one of the discs, and I just feel like I need to have a little bit of Thelonious in my collection. And if I don't dig it, I haven't really listened to it yet. If I don't dig it, I'll end up giving it to one of my buddies who are into jazz. So for $2, I couldn't let it sit in there. Um, let's see. The next stuff I got was at FYE. And FYE is you guys know it's a chain. If you don't know, it's a chain record store. Um, Not even record store, media store. CDs, DVDs, video games, whatever. Records, CDs, all kinds of media. But it's just a chain store. But a lot of their locations are going out of business. I guess 20 of their locations are going out of business, which is sad, which sucks. I hate to see, music shops going out of business. But they're not all going out of business. But they are liquidating about 20 locations at the moment, and my location is one of the ones that are going out of business. So a lot of the records right now are 60% off. So I was able to find, which I was pretty excited about because this was a record store day release, and it's one that I've been wanting. And when it came out on record store day, I could not afford it because it was like $35-$40, I think. And I just did not have the cash at the time, and I hoped that I'd be able to get one later, which I'm glad I waited because I got one for 60% off. So I paid like $14 for this. If you guys don't know, this is when Dylan went electric, and pissed people off. It's a great record. You got the band backing him on this. Here's the. I'm sure all of you Dylan fans already have it, know it. If not, it's probably on your want list because it's a really good one. It's one that one of my buddies used to spin all the time. So I'm glad that I finally have this in my collection. That same day at FYE, I was also able to pick up another record store day release that came out. Oh crap! I think it came out in like maybe 2012, 11. So it's a few years old now. But it's one that I wanted, and it's a picture disc, and it's my first picture disc. I don't own any picture discs, other than my daughter, who has a picture disc. My daughter is 8, and when she was about 5, she got a picture disc of the Frozen soundtrack. Yes. Let it go, let it go. But Elf, Ronnie James Dio. This, like I said, was a record store day release a couple years ago. They made 2,500 of these. I've been looking for this record in any form, picture disc or regular form, for a little while now. I'll be quite honest, I've only known about this record for probably 10 years. I've never owned it before, so I'm proud to finally own this. This record, I believe, was originally released in '67, and it's before Dio went to Rainbow with Richie Blackmore. But this here, it's not that it's not a heavy record. It's blues rock, really. Really cool stuff. It's not as evil or scary as that looks. That's very intimidating, but when you listen to it, it sounds more like this than this. So I love Dio. And one of the cool things about Dio is that he actually was born around here. He's from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and about a year ago, I remember they were having a petition to create a statue of Dio in Portsmouth, put a cool statue of him. I don't know whatever happened. I haven't been to Portsmouth in a while, and I haven't heard. So I want to look into that and find out if they've ever done it or if it's in the process. But I would love to see a statue of Dio in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. That'd be just very cool. So I hope they make it, or I hope they made it. I don't even know if they have, but like I said, the petition was going around about a year ago. Um, so that'd be really cool if that statue ever gets created. Um, let's see. The next thing that I got was something that I've also been wanting for a long time. It's another one of my 90s records, classics for me. Um, Counting Crows, Recovering the Satellites. This was just released a couple days ago. This was released on Friday. And I'm just pumped because the original, it's one of those 90s things that you can't find, and when you do find, it's like $200 or $300, and it's just insane when you know. So they just pressed this. It's a double LP. It's very, got the glare there. Black vinyl. Sounds really good. Um, I mean, it's really cool. I'm just so excited to finally get some of these early Counting Crows on vinyl. Um, if there's any other Crows fans out there, just so you know, they are pressing August and Everything After also. That's coming out this Friday. So I sold some more CDs to pick this one up, and I still have a little bit more credit to pick up August and Everything After, and that Gin Blossoms, because I don't know why, but all my stuff that I've been wanting is all coming out right now, so I'm pretty pumped. Very excited to get those on vinyl. They've been getting a lot of spins lately. I just got a couple left that I picked up this morning, actually. I went to the local record shop in town, and it's really lackluster in there. He's a really nice guy, but he never has like new stuff out. He never everything that he gets that's good, he puts online, and he never even sells it in the store, and it's kind of frustrating. But he's a really nice guy, and I understand he needs, it's his business. I can't tell him how to run his business, but um, I just wish that he would sell some of that stuff to me. I want to get some dibs on some of his good stuff. Um, but he does update his dollar bins because that's what he sells in there, cheap shit. But I was able to get a cool record in the dollar bin today for the impressions. Some old soul, Curtis Mayfield. It's his early stuff. I think this was released in 1965. This particular record. Um, I mean, you guys all know It's All Right, guaranteed. You don't think you know the impressions? Check out the song It's All Right, you'll know it. But yeah, early Curtis Mayfield, can't go wrong with that for a buck. So whenever I see that, I'll pick it up. And last but not least, the last thing I picked up this morning, um, Prince, Purple Rain. I'm embarrassed to admit I've never heard this record. Um, I mean, I know Purple Rain. I know, what's the other? I, I Would Die for You. But I was never a Prince fan growing up. Prince came out in the 80s. In the 80s, I was listening to metal. So a kid growing up listening to Anthrax isn't listening to Purple Rain. So um, I've since expanded my music that I listen to, being a 40-year-old man now. But yeah, what can I say? I'll probably spin this later tonight, see what I think. But it's kind of weird. I've never ever heard this whole record, and I got it cheap. It's beat up. You can kind of see there's a couple creases up here, and somebody wrote something on here, and it's got some scuffs on it. But I paid $4 for it, and for $4, I want to give it a shot. And I mean, I own some. I own one Prince record, and I have a couple 45s. But you know, he's a great guitar player, and yeah, whatever. So thanks for watching, VC. Have a good one. Keep making videos. I'm enjoying watching them. And if you like this, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll check you around, man. Cheers.